I remember when I was a child, very little. I remember that my mother wanted to get rid of me. She wanted to let me in the train station, but God needed me and He wanted me because He cared about me, and yeah.
I know all about it.
It's actually a long story, but I'm trying to make it shorter. I was born in an Orthodox family. It's just normal here in Romania. When I was very young, my parents divorced and I had to stay with my mother, and she got married for so many times. After a few years, she got married with a man, and that man was actually a good man, but somehow she had to go in another country to work for making a house, and I had to stay with him. He was my stepfather. He got sick when I was 14, I think, very sick, and I had to care for him because my mother was still there in Italy and I never saw her in these 4 years. My mother came in that night after he died, and she's been there for the funeral. And what is very interesting is that before he died, a few years ago, we went to the church, and I went to the kids club, and I knew about Jesus, I knew about God, but I never realized what He means for me and what actually He is. But I was very upset to God, and I said, I don't want to hear about you anymore. If you are taking my father, you know that he's much important for me than was my mother. After he died, and my mother left again in Italy, and she somehow abandoned me. She left me alone, and I had nobody, and I had to care for me. And I was 15, I was alone. I was in the first year of high school, and I gave up because I said I have no future. Everybody is rejecting me. Nobody cares about me, so I have no future. I don't care about anything. I remember that I knew these people from this church. They gave me the chance to stay in the mission house for a few years. I don't remember when the change came in my life, but I remember that it was a Sunday. I was crying and I said to the Lord that I'm sorry for what I have done and I want to change my life. But God came and cleaned it all, and He gave me a new chance and a new hope that He told me that I'm good enough and I'm perfect and I'm what He made it, and I'm not a mistake or something. And I was there. My mother died in this time, and I was baptized in May and she died in July. But something changed in my life. I never asked God why you took her, why this happened to me, because I realized, God, you have a big plan for me, and what I see now is not what you want for me. After a few years, I moved to a sister from the church. She said that she wants to take somebody to care for and to invest in. She is more than my mother and my father and anything I had before. Last year, my real father died, so in 8 years, I've lost 3 persons. But God changed my life, and I think, and now I can see that God somehow saved me, because if I could be with them, I will not be with God. The people that I met when I was a child were from Hope Church. They showed me the love of God, and through them I saw that I'm important, that I'm special, that I'm good for anything. Yeah, and now I'm at faculty, I'm studying, I'm in the last year of college. God helped me, I couldn't believe that. And yeah, this year I'm going to marry my friend and the love of my life. And I received the calling through him, I think. I just said I want to encourage him and I want to be beside him. Because you know, when you are two, you are going to have impact. I really want to help the orphans and the social cases, you know, the people that are in need, because I was in need once and more than once, and God provided for me, and He did it, and I want to do it for others. Yeah, that's it. This is the story of my life.